Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Oh my god, the scenery is so breathtaking just outside my window. So in my YouTube studio where I record my YouTube videos on Descendants and Zombies, just to the left of us there's a window, and it is absolutely breathtaking. There's this beautiful tree, and the sun sets over this tree every single night. And every single night since the summer rolled in, it's been absolutely gorgeous, and I couldn't ask for better scenery to shoot these YouTube videos and to draw inspiration from them. The people that I got this house from didn't know that I was a YouTube creator, so I was looking for something that would give me inspiration to create beautiful videos for each and every one of you, and I think I found it. I think I want to stay here forever. This is why I wish the creators and producers of Descendants, the writers, would move in my backyard. I would allow them the opportunity to shoot Descendants from my backyard. I'm never here anyway, so they could shoot Descendants in my backyard. It's beautiful scenery. The backyard is huge, and I think Kylie Cantrell, Mila Baker, Ruby Rose Turner would have a whole lot of fun shooting Descendants in my backyard, and I would love the opportunity to give them the opportunity to do that. Actually, they shot Peter Pan, a portion of it, here in St. John's. So it was a huge honor seeing them come here for that, because of the scenery. The water was absolutely breathtaking. But I wish, if they're shooting Descendants and Zombies here in Canada, they would shoot it in my backyard. Literally, I would give them the opportunity to do it. I wouldn't charge them anything. I would finance Descendants myself, because I know how much this franchise means as a whole to each and every one of you. I mean, many of you, if not every single one of you, have drawn inspiration from the Descendants franchise and also Zombies, but most of you, the majority of your inspiration has come from drawing inspiration from the Descendants characters. Characters inspired by Alice in Wonderland, characters inspired by Sleeping Beauty, characters inspired by Cinderella. I was a huge fan of fairy tale literature, and I still am a huge fan of fairy tale literature. I have this vampire-like memory where I can remember specific dates in history when certain books were published, how much was made off of each book. It's kind of crazy. Like Alice Through the Looking Glass, which was the sequel, which was highly anticipated, from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, was published on December 27th, 1872, and it made it to the bookstores just before Christmas, just in time for Christmas. And I would have loved to have gone back in time and seen that book put on the shelves for the very first time. And who's to say I didn't? Because I've seemingly been a part of every generation that everybody's been a fan of for forever. Kind of just there. I will forever die a huge fan of Descendants and Zombies, because I know how much of an inspiration it is to each and every one of you. And I'm going to do my absolute best to provide you with unique commentaries that you haven't heard anywhere else on YouTube pertaining to those two franchises. Because to be honest with each and every one of you, I am tired of hearing negative reviews about Descendants and Zombies. Can we please give these two franchises the benefit of the doubt? Can we please give it time to see how it unfolds, the plot unfolds? Because I think a lot of people are just resorting to criticism because they know there are tens of millions of fans of Descendants and Zombies, in particularly 10.5 million fans for Descendants on social media. That is an incredible number. That is an incredible statistic. And I fall asleep every night thinking about that, just as much as I fall asleep thinking about Ruby Rose Turner now outing from Descendants. I'm going to miss Ruby Rose Turner. I love her to death. And I want to publicly announce that on this podcast, because Ruby, to me, was a huge inspiration. She inspired me to be a better person and to fix a lot of the mistakes that I had made in my life. You know, me and my mom never really saw eye to eye. Me and my dad never saw eye to eye. I've described my dad as God of War, Kratos. You know, he was always, boy, go out and get a real job. Boy, stop watching pro wrestling. Boy, stop being a theater kid. Boy, stop producing theater. Boy, why do you like ballet so much? And he could never cut me any slack. But I know that he was just trying to make me realize, you know, the benefits of pursuing a better career. But I always, as much as I didn't, I wanted to be a podcaster because I wanted to spread a message of kindness ever since I was 13 years old. And that's no joke. I know what it's like to be under a lot of pressure. I know what it's like to be the victim of bullying. And that's what Ruby Rose Turner's character was illustrating in Descendants: The Rise of Red. Her character was short-lived in Descendants, but that didn't mean that everybody didn't fall in love with her, because she was portraying a character that had been bullied into becoming one of the most infamous Disney villains of all time. One of the greatest villains of all time, no matter how much she got on each and every one of our last nerves. I mean, I will admit to each and every one of you, the Queen of Hearts was someone who I found really annoying. I couldn't stand the Queen of Hearts. But the young portrayal of the Queen of Hearts from Ruby Rose Turner inspired me to be a better person. And, when I was watching Ruby as an actress for that movie, there were many times through that 90-minute movie, throughout the period of that 90-minute movie, throughout the course of it, that I thought to myself, what the hell was I doing all of my life? I was making all these mistakes. I wanted to be a better person. I wasn't going about the right way of doing it. And I still admit to those mistakes over this podcast microphone because I like to believe that I'm inspiring other people to fix their mistakes in their own unique way because everybody has a different way of looking at it. But I think that Ruby Rose Turner's portrayal of the young Queen of Hearts was phenomenally done. I don't care how many people you bring in to play her sister, Pink, they're calling her. I guess it's just a replacement for the time being for Ruby Rose Turner's character because they're going to try to create some confliction between Red and the opposite villain, one would assume, in Wicked Wonderland. But the thing is, Ruby just brought this unique presence. She had this unique vibe that I don't think any other star that could have ever portrayed the young Queen of Hearts would have been able to effectively done and put across. Her message of how life was sweeter when you were, how you should stand up for what you believe in, and no matter what, always resort to kindness. And that's one thing that I've always wanted each and every one of you to run away with from this YouTube channel. You can never spread enough kindness in this world. No matter how mean somebody is to you, always remember that kindness is always the answer and always the way out. Never be afraid to stand up for yourself and what you believe in, but always remember that kindness is the way out. I've been practicing that ever since I was 13 years old. And there are times that I wake up every morning and I think to myself, my life is horrible. I've made a lot of mistakes. I don't really practice what I preach here on this YouTube channel. I have fallen victim to that many times over the years. But if there is one thing that I want you to run away with from this YouTube channel is that no dream is ever unachievable or possible. And that no matter how much kindness you spread in this world, it is never enough. Because I am tired of never hearing the words, I love you. I'm tired of never seeing enough kindness spread in this world. And if there's one message I want you to run away with and keep with you in all of your hearts is that kindness is the way out. It is the answer to everything. I know there are a lot of people, there are these real idiots out there that are going to tell you that every dream is not possible, forever doesn't exist. We hear that every day of our lives. But rest assured, there are many people who are told this, but the thing is, forever does exist. I believe that. I have held on to that. I have met many people who don't believe the same thing or don't ever concur with what I have to say on this podcast. They probably think I'm crazy. They probably think I'm stupid. They probably think my videos are stupid. But even though I have people out there that think my videos are stupid, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop producing this YouTube channel because of people thinking that my videos are stupid. Because each and every one of you are incredible people. I love each and every one of you for making this YouTube channel what it is. About 7 years ago, when I had hung up the headset for the final time, looked at my co-host and said, I think I'm going to go home. He said, we'll see you in a couple of years. Lo and behold, I have returned because you guys brought me back from obscurity. I was the biggest Dove Cameron fan in the world. I didn't necessarily agree with how Ryan McCartney and Thomas Doherty had treated her in her previous relationships and her endeavors, especially when Doherty looked at her and said that people like you better when you don't talk much. Dove Cameron has a right to talk. So does Kylie Cantrell have a right to express her political point of view without criticism. Logan Paul has no right to sit on his podcast and call Ruby Rose Turner down for what she believes. Can we please stop resorting to criticism for these young actresses who don't deserve it? They are beautiful people, and they've inspired millions of people to actually pursue an acting career as an actress. I would love to be an acting coach for some of you guys because I've experienced in theater. Let me tell you something. Some of the best years of my career came from studying theater, came from studying folk literature. And that's why I don't buy in to anything that I've heard from these critics on YouTube and their YouTube videos and their YouTube channels about Descendants having written its final chapter following the conclusion of The Rise of Red. How can you tell a story so detailed as Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella with so many aspects of the story left out from the first installment of The Rise of Red in just under 90 minutes? The answer to that is simply that you can't. So you have to have another sequel. And I mentioned the sequel, Alice Through the Looking Glass, and what she saw, published in 1872, just before Christmas, or just a little after it. I know the date on the book, I remember it vividly, was December 27, 1872, so that would bring up the speed just after Christmas. Sold, I think, 15,000 copies or something. That was a lot back in 1872. You guys are saying to yourself, man, you remember everything. You're good. I like this channel. Well, if you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. I would love for you to do that because never enough kindness can be spread in this world. And if you're somebody new here on this YouTube channel, this is a beautiful YouTube channel, and I have a lot to say where Alice in Wonderland goes. It is an incredible, incredible story that I think a lot of you, if you've never read it, you probably should. I know a lot of you probably don't read books, but Alice in Wonderland was a beautiful book. So was Alice Through the Looking Glass, because it picked up where Alice in Wonderland left off. A lot of the unanswered questions do get answered in that book. It is absolutely beautiful. I know a lot of you are probably fans of Twilight. You're probably fans of Chicken Soul for the Soup. I was too when I was a teenager. I used to read those books all the time. I used to read The Notebook time and time again, ever before I saw the movie, because a lot of detail that are in these books are left out of the movies for those of you who are big movie fans. I've been a big movie fan for what feels like forever. I just saw how Lilo and Stitch, I read a press release where Lilo and Stitch is expected to cross over $1 billion this week. Congratulations to Chris Saunders and the producers of Lilo and Stitch live action. Absolutely incredible. I don't know how they're going to follow it. Apparently they're going to be working on Lilo and Stitch 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 4, a lot of stuff, great stuff. Of course, after Snow White's flop in the box office, which really disappointed me in a lot of ways. I was probably the only guy who ever found anything good to say about Snow White. And the reason for that was because I remember reading the book. I remember how popular the book was. I remember how popular the classic fairy tale was, and how it started a trend for Disney where they went on to produce over 100 animated classics and CGI movies over the years. I would love, if they don't make any more Descendants movies, I would love to see them turn this into a TV series. They could call it Ordon and focus on the students at Ordon Prep. Probably have China and McClain come in, that girl from Ant Farm. I know I criticize China and McClain a lot. I really criticized her. I came down hard on her in some of my original videos, and I want to apologize for that, because she is a talented actress. It's just, I thought, her portrayal of Uma got old really quick. And I think that if you're introducing us to a whole new generation of Descendants, it could have gone without China and McClain. Leave it up to Kylie Control, leave it up to Mila Baker, leave it up to Ruby Rose Turner. There's just something about China and McClain being a psychotic Ninja Turtle going waha that didn't really get it done for me. Just as Mitchell Hope's portrayal of the Prince Ben, Beast and Belle's son, didn't get it done for me. I always wanted to be the Prince in Descendants. I always wanted to have the opportunity to drive a side-by-side through a rabbit hole, and lo and behold, I'm still waiting on that opportunity, just as I'm waiting on the opportunity to be a vampire slayer in Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires, which has not happened yet. It really breaks my heart when all you guys are finding all these videos on YouTube. You must be finding about 500 different thumbnails and 500 different YouTube channels that are pretty much just deceiving you, because they want you to click on their thumbnail and they want you to subscribe to their YouTube channel. I want anything but that from you. I want you to subscribe to this YouTube channel because you're going to have a whole lot of fun here hearing my critique opinions on Descendants. I was someone who very quickly fell in love with this franchise. I thought it was the most beautiful franchise in the entire universe. I'll do you one better, the entire galaxy. Each character had its own unique way and color scheme that really put this one over. And this version of Descendants, 10 years after the original trilogy, really felt like a musical to me. And the flow of it, from song to song, felt like one of the greatest musicals of all time. It felt like I was watching Wicked more times than enough. And believe you me, I had been in the theater. I watched the whole 3-hour production of Wicked. It was amazing. I've seen stage productions of Wicked. I've watched the theatrical presentation of Wicked. Ariana Grande's portrayal of Belinda the Good Witch was incredible. The chemistry in that movie was unbelievable. A lot of my friends criticized me for wanting to check Wicked out, but I took myself up on the opportunity. I pulled a Meg Donnelly. I pulled the Dove Cameron, who wanted to be a part of the Wicked franchise, never had the opportunity to do it. I want to put it out there that probably Dove could get it done. Probably a lot faster than Jonathan Clarke. Yours truly could get it done. But I remember being in the middle of the theater. I watched the whole 3-hour production, and this is probably one of the closest representations of either Wicked or Harry Potter that I've seen in a long time. And I say this because I know I have a lot of Harry Potter fans who are subscribed to this YouTube channel. I know that one of the stars of Harry Potter recently passed away. My heart goes out to her family, and my heart goes out to every Harry Potter fan out there. I remember reading the Harry Potter books when I was a child, but this has got to be the closest representation of Harry Potter or any adaptation that I've seen in a really long time, and probably the closest resemblance to Wicked since last year. And apparently Wicked Part 2 is going to be dropping around the same time theatrically this year, and I'm really excited about it. You know what I'd also like to see? I'd like to see a movie where both worlds come together. You know, if they're doing this Worlds Collide tour for Descendants and Zombies, what's the reason they can't have Descendants and Zombies on the same stage or in the same movie? I would love to see that because the characters would fit appropriately together. The story could be significantly longer and more detailed, and I think the fans will really get the gist of the Descendants and Zombies franchises. Because I know if I've got 1,000 girls subscribed to this YouTube channel who are fans of Descendants, because the majority of the fans of Descendants, I mean, let's face reality that we're faced with here tonight, are all girls. Hi, thank you for subscribing to this YouTube channel. If I've got 1,000 girls subscribed to this YouTube channel, you are subscribed to this YouTube channel because you have a passion for Descendants. And a lot of you are probably not familiar with the original Descendants trilogy because you're just being introduced to Descendants for what could be the very first time. And how wonderfully are you all being introduced to the Descendants franchise? You've got Kylie Cantrell, who is doing a beautiful representation of the Queen of Hearts' daughter. I love her dearly. I've loved Kylie Cantrell ever since she was at least 12 years old. I've been just as big a fan of Ruby Rose Turner. I cry myself to sleep literally every single night, knowing that Ruby is no longer going to be a part of Descendants. But of course, the reason for that, I've elaborated on this time and time again on this podcast, is because there's no need for time travel if it's going to be happening in present-day Wonderland. The Cup games, I'm not really sure on that because we haven't seen the plot necessarily unfold for Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland. We've seen a lot of teasers, and man, those teasers are incredibly beautiful. I'm really excited to see where we go from here with Descendants because I think there's always an opportunity for a new chapter, either through a movie or a TV series. I was always a big fan of TV series too, like Merlin, which was a great TV series. Once Upon a Time was another great TV series. So if you can have all these TV series focusing on your prime fairy tale characters like mermaids and pirates, referencing, of course, Pirates of the Caribbean. By the way, I'd love to see Jack Sparrow's son probably make an entry into Descendants. And there you go! Like, Captain Jack Sparrow's son is a part of Descendants. You know, Hercules' son is a part of Descendants. Or Hercules' daughter as a part of Descendants. There are so many opportunities to create with Descendants. So for those idiots on their podcasts saying this is it for Descendants, where's somebody Hercules? Where's Captain Jack Sparrow's son? Or daughter? You know? If you can have Mulan's daughter in this franchise, you can easily have Hercules or Captain Jack Sparrow's daughter into the franchise. I just hate how people are saying we've reached the end of it. You know why they're saying we've reached the end of it? Because they're all like Logan Paul. They want it to be over. I don't want it to ever be over. And I'm going to do my absolute best to make sure that this franchise lasts at least for another 10 years for the people who deserve it. The thing is, you've been criticized enough. Back to when the Place to Be music video for Zombies dropped about 3.5 weeks ago. By the way, that trailer for Zombies has surpassed over 10 million views on YouTube and Vivo. Congratulations to you guys. You deserve it. If there's any cast out there that deserves it for your hard work, shooting scenes at 5 a.m. in the morning, it is you guys. I will forever be in your corner. And if I can play a Rocky Balboa and a Sylvester Stallone here, it's not over till it's over, Rock. You know, that's the thing. You guys really came out swinging with this one, and my heart goes out to each and every one of you. And yeah, I'm kind of envious of the creators of the Brisk commercial for the Rocky Balboa Sylvester Stallone cameo years ago, when he came out after drinking brisk iced tea after being knocked back into the corner, and I always wanted to be a part of that. And Hollywood has always shafted me. That's that's another story for another time. Yeah, I always wanted to be in a Lipton brisk iced tea commercial. Never had the opportunity to do it. Come to think of it, I'd love to see, I don't know, Kylie Cantrell, Ruby Rose Turner, probably even Mila Baker in a Lipton brisk iced tea commercial, promoting it while they're promoting Descendants simultaneously. But yeah, I always would love to see, I've always wanted to see, if we're seeing a stage production between Descendants and Zombies this summer for 3 months, as the sun sets on over lives, and I just want to put it out there, I would love to see either a TV series where the two franchises come together or a movie. Because 15 years ago, I remember being in a movie theater before it hauntingly burnt to the ground. I don't know what it's up with me and hauntingly burning to the ground with movie theaters, but and funny enough, the last movie that I saw in that movie theater, that local movie theater, which I live literally 5 minutes away from, the last movie I saw was Nightmare on Elm Street. Man, down on my luck. Way to bring us all down, hey? But I remember being in that movie theater and seeing High School Musical and Hannah Montana literally 2 weeks apart. And it was amazing. I was blown away by the special effects of the Hannah Montana movie. I was blown away by the special effects more especially of High School Musical because I thought it was a fantastic way to bring these franchises that saw unbelievable amounts of success from Disney Channel and then going from Disney Channel to Blu-ray and DVD to the big screen. The musical numbers were absolutely unbelievable. A+. Ashley Tisdale, Vanessa Hudgens' chemistry both on the set of High School Musical and even off of it, which has been documented for years, was incredible. And by the way, I'm really looking forward to seeing Ashley Tisdale reprising a role as Candace for the Phineas and Ferb reboot this summer. I saw a teaser, speaking of Phineas and Ferb, dropped on Facebook, I think it was this afternoon. They're saying that the series is going to premiere on Disney Channel as of June 5th, which is actually tomorrow. I don't know if that's actually legit or not, so you guys are going to have to watch out for that on Facebook if you haven't already seen it. I'm sure a lot of you watching this video probably have. I was a big fan of the original Phineas and Ferb series. I don't know how many episodes or how many seasons we're going to get this one. Hopefully 5 or 6. I know they did the spin-off from Milo Murphy's Law. That wasn't as good as Phineas and Ferb, but I go all the way back to Phineas and Ferb Across the Second Dimension, the video game release on the PlayStation 3. Which I never did find a copy of, but I remember seeing videos of it. It was amazing. Phineas and Ferb were these two characters that were incredible, but, you know, it just goes to show how franchises like Descendants and High School Musical and Zombies and Hannah Montana and Camp Rock can really open up doors of opportunities for people like Kylie Cantrell and Mila Baker. You know, I know that Mila Baker's had her fair share of opportunities. She was a part of the Are You Afraid of the Dark reboot in 2019 through 2022. Kylie Cantrell's had endless amounts of opportunities. Her resume blows my mind every single time. Raven's Home, Berserk, Gabby Dern in The Unsittables, High School Musical, the series, whom a lot of people are fans of because of the music, because of the script, because of Kylie Cantrell's character. I just want to put it out there too. Anyone who is criticizing Kylie Cantrell, please back off of that girl. She's not even 20 years old, and look at everything she's done. She's on her way to becoming the next Hannah Montana. And I will say this again tomorrow night and probably the night after this on my podcast because she really is on her way to becoming the next Hannah Montana. Have you seen any of the teasers for her EP? Have you seen any of the work she's done for Goodie Bag and stuff and Denim? I mean, it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. I tease a lot of it on my Facebook page. The link is there for you guys. It blows my mind every single time. And then I go on and I hear about people expressing their opinions on Kylie Cantrell's political points of view. If anything, Kylie Cantrell is going to be the reason why I run for president of the United States and take the American flag and put Mickey Mouse's logo on it and make America Mickey again. That'll be my slogan. And I'll make Disney Plus mandatory in homes across America. If we have 50 million people in the United States, all 50 million of you will get Disney Plus exclusively free. And I'm Mr. President. And I will address the nation every night on YouTube before 8 p.m. Oh, my. Can you imagine me moving into the White House and Kylie Cantrell like being the First Lady and me having my own security force? Which, by the way, you guys can sign up for by hitting the subscribe button. I definitely would make America better for a lot of these Disney stars who have been Trump supporters and supporters of the previous presidents of the United States. Because you guys have been subject to a lot of criticism for your political points of view, and you don't need to be subjected to that kind of stuff. Leave the criticism for people like me. And I have proudly said that I will take a bullet for Kylie Cantrell over and over in this lifetime and again in the next. I will proudly take a bullet over and over again in this lifetime and in the next for people like Ruby Rose Turner because I love her so much. I will go out and hook up reciprocal lights in my kitchen and stream The Life is Sweeter When You Are a Dance number between Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Cantrell from my kitchen on TikTok if they move in here and shoot Descendants in my backyard. By the way, I want to go on record for saying that I would have so much fun assisting with the production of Descendants because, again, I know how much each and every one of you value these franchises, and because you value these franchises so much, you deserve the best. These franchises wouldn't even exist if not for each and every one of you. Forget about my criticism of running for president of the United States, wanting to be a vampire slayer, Addison's love interest, Meg Donnelly's love interest, the love interest of Kylie Cantrell as the prince in Descendants. You guys deserve better than what you've been hearing on YouTube. I haven't seen any creepy videos for Descendants as of late on YouTube, but if I do find any, I will let you know about it. It usually pops up my YouTube recommendations every morning. But it really breaks my heart when you guys are subject to this kind of stuff. So I can only hope, after I upload and edit the videos, that you guys will find my videos, you will click on my thumbnails, and you will subscribe to this YouTube channel. Because one of the most difficult things as a YouTube creator to achieve is getting somebody to hit that subscribe button. That is far more challenging than anyone has ever admitted as a YouTube creator. I mean, most of these YouTube channels are just bots. The videos are created by AI, pre-typed text with a voice that isn't even the real person. At least on this YouTube channel, you see the guy hosting the show. You see the podcast microphone in front of me. You see the new game chair I bought, which I put together and assembled in all of 10 minutes. I'm surprised I haven't fell out of it yet, because the other game chair I had was being kept together by bolts, which is why I need Ruby Rose Turner here to help me build things like game chairs and cook for me in my kitchen and bake treats, so I can have a huge sugar high before I do my podcast every single night, and then Ruby can host it with me. And we can call it The Life is Sweeter When You Are a Podcast. And you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, you have huge aspirations and goals in life. Well, that's what you have to do to be a YouTube creator. You have to be the sweetest guy ever to create Descendants and Zombies videos for the fans. You have to inspire other people to create YouTube. And you have to spend $4,200 on YouTube tech, which is what I've done. And actually, I feel really accomplished. Because over the last 3 months, I could have spent all my money on thousands of candy. I haven't done it yet. I spent it all on YouTube stuff for you guys, and Disney stuffies like Stitch and Sonic and 3-foot tall Mickey. Oh, man, you don't know how hard life is until you sleep with a 3-foot tall Mickey over your head. For those of you who have not tried it, I highly recommend that you do. And never ever buy a game chair from Amazon because it will fall apart on you, and Clarke and Ruby Rose Turner will be out trying to stop the Amazon van from parking in your driveway and dropping it off. Trust me. Oh, man, to be honest with you guys, I'd love to be out for a nighttime jog and see Clarke and Ruby Rose Turner walking down the road. I would invite them over for a cup of tea. I would talk about Descendants. I would probably invite them to stay here for forever, and we would shoot the next 3 or 4 Descendants movies, because I know how much each and every one of you love it so much. Literally, guys, if you love Ruby Rose Turner and Clarke and I am in your corner for life. And I will give you my word, I will never ever quit on every single person who has ever said proudly that they love Ruby Rose Turner and Clarke and because I know how much each and every one of them mean to you. I know you've been watching them long before Descendants. I know a lot of you were fans of Clarke and back on Berserk when she just had a reoccurring role, which was quite lovely, to be honest, as Tessa. She didn't get enough appearances on that show. Gabby Earn and the Unsittables was kind of really cool. I think everybody, even though they don't choose to admit it, has either tried to be abducted by aliens or have been abducted by aliens at some point in their life. I can't even tell you how many nights I would lie out on my lawn with all the windows open, and then my mom would look at me saying I was crazy. And I'd say, Mom, go away. I'm trying to get abducted by aliens. And I would come in through my door saying curses, fall out again and try the next night. None of you appreciate how hard it is to get abducted by aliens or even realize how hard it is to get abducted by aliens until you are actually abducted by aliens. I saw it done in the Rugrats cartoon years ago. Tommy Pickles and Chucky Finster and Angelica Pickles got it done. And I said to myself, if they can do it, so can I. 35 years later, I'm still trying to get abducted by aliens, banging my head off this computer desk. Oh, man. But Ruby Rose Turner seems so talented, doesn't she? She is incredible. I think everybody should aspire to be Rube. Rube is amazing. I call her Rube out of respect because nobody's given Ruby a nickname, and I wanted to call her Rube because she was so cool. So if she sees this video, hopefully her friends and even she herself will start calling her Rube. And I love her, man. Her kindness is so adorable. I wish everybody was like that. You know, I hate when I'm out walking in the mornings. I hate when I'm at the store and you say hi to some guy and they don't even look at you and just walk past you. What a waste of your time. I think that if we all spread more kindness in this life, this world will ultimately be a better place. And I stand to that. You know, I say this because I was always a geek. I was always the guy chasing after the school bus, locked inside lockers, throwing in garbage cans at Halloween dances. There was one Halloween dance where I was attacked by 2 pirate guys in costumes, a vampire guy that I drop-kicked off of a bookshelf in the library. Man, those weren't nights that I chose to remember. And then there was, of course, my high school prom, where I had no date. Man, I was a real loser. But I always made an effort to try. I was a theater kid. I was a nerd. I was everything all wrapped into one. But no matter how much of a nerd I was, I always tried to make a consistent effort to spread kindness. And I always convey a very powerful message of kindness. I remember years ago when I told my mom I was going to be a podcaster and stream a show out of her basement. And her basement wasn't very big. After she said it was stupid for about 3 weeks, she finally gave me the money to finance my own YouTube channel. And very quickly fell in love with my presentation. Because one of the things she wanted to know was what kind of message was I going to relay on my podcast or when I've been showcast. Which were the only ways that you could stream a podcast years ago. And I looked at her and said, kindness. My sister looked at me a couple of times and said, what was your catchphrase going to be? I said, I don't know. And I just started spreading a message of kindness, and I've been doing it ever since. And here I am today with 3,000 subscribers. You know, every single job that I had on the radio, no matter if it was working for Eminem's radio station, wrestling-radio.com, WrestleZone.com, globalwrestling.it, Entertainment News Podcasts, America's Got Talent, whatever I worked for, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Boy Meets World, whatever I did, every time my radio show career would end, I always wanted the opportunity to come back and do it all over again. I wanted to repeat history, kind of like the Until Dawn movie, or go back in time and do it all over again like Red and Chloe. If I had a pocket watch, that's probably what I would do. Because those 25 years were phenomenal points of time in my career. And I will admit to each and every one of you, I made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of friends. I had a lot of enemies too. But some of your enemies are some of your greatest fans of all time. Some of your haters are your biggest fans out there. But the thing is, I had a whole lot of fun doing it. But I haven't had as much fun as this. You guys are the most incredible fans that I have ever seen in my life. I worked for Eminem's radio station for about, 3 months. And they let me go because they found a guy named Orlando to replace me. And then he was fired a couple of months after me. But no matter where I worked, no matter what I did, I never had as much fun as this. And I've met a lot of people, and I've changed a lot of lives through my points of view on things like Descendants and Zombies. I was a professional wrestling podcaster. I had a lot of subscribers years ago, but never as many as this. You guys are the best fans in the world. You never ever quit on me, so why should I quit on you? Why should you be subjected to so much criticism for what you love? If you love to dance to Descendants music, if you love to aspire to be the next Descendants actress or actor, then go for it. The best piece of advice I always gave in theater was just go out and be yourself. The people who did go out and be yourself never did fall off the stage. The people who went out there and were idiots and didn't take my advice fell through the stage like I did one night when I was producing Phantom of the Opera. Something happened with the smoke machine, long story short. I went up and I checked it out when all the lights were off, fell down through it, ambulance was called, woo, woo! And, one thing led to another. They told me to go home, watch Disney Channel, recuperate for 3 weeks, and I was back at the theater after. Leave it to the professionals when it comes to hunting vampires and doing theater productions and ballet. Just never tell anybody about it. I have had the most fun in my life producing this podcast for each and every one of you. 7.5 years ago, I thought I was done. They said, we'll see you in a couple of years. And you guys brought me back. I don't know if it was because you wanted a hero. I don't know if it was because you just thought I was funny. I don't know if it was because you just thought I was cool for liking Descendants and Zombies. But I want to say thank you from my heart to yours, because without you, I don't know where I'd be tonight. But rest assured, as the sun sets on all of our lives tonight, there is no place I'd rather be in the world than right here with each and every one of you, because I know how much you appreciate Descendants and Zombies, which is why I know I will never ever quit on each and every one of you, because I know that Descendants and Zombies has inspired you all one way or another. I just wish we had more PR for Descendants and Zombies to kind of focus on, because there's never enough of it. I know there's a lot of PR coming up for Descendants and Zombies, Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland, and for those of you who didn't see the teaser trailer, it is archived in my YouTube channel, but for those of you who have not seen it, I will be replaying it again for you over the next couple of nights, because VCRs are a thing of the past now. I don't have to rewind it, and everything is on flash drives. And you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, did you spend all night trying to come up with that line? Yeah, because I remember when VCRs used to be $1,000, and I used to always put the VHS tape in the VCR until one night my sister and her friends were over. They wanted to watch Care Bears. I wanted to watch 101 Dalmatians. It wasn't good. The chair that I was on was pulled out from underneath me. I crashed on the floor, broke up my TV, and I was screwed. But, yeah, I do remember when VHSs were a thing. And I remember having the original Disney Masterpiece collection. And it's unbelievable how much some of that stuff is worth. The Beauty and the Beast original masterpiece. Pinocchio's original masterpiece from 1940. I had all of them. And I was just as big of a Disney fan then as I am now. Probably an even bigger Disney fan. So a lot of people out there who are Disney fans and fans of Descendants and Zombies can appreciate me. And yes, if Carly Control moves into this house to shoot Descendants, I do have a copy of Shrek for her to watch if she hasn't already watched it with Mila Baker. They were going to fix that. They were going to watch it together. Hopefully they did. But if not, don't fear, Carly, because I have that movie. And I remember having it ever since high school. Yeah. For those of you who have high-five Shrek like Meg Donnelly, I am envious of each and every one of you. For those of you who want to work in a noodle shop, never ever count yourself out because the opportunity is always presented to you. And if you know a guy named Poe, move into a noodle shop and do it. I always wanted to work in a noodle shop. I always wanted to own my own magic shop too after Mr. Sardo on Are You Afraid of the Dark, both the original and the reboot. But the original Mr. Sardo was so cool. Accent on the dough. Yeah, man. Why do you say we watch this Descendants piece of footage before you all think I'm crazy? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, man. Those reciprocal lights look kind of cool. Now I'm shooting this video. I'm putting it all into perspective. Before this chair falls apart, before the sun sets on all of our lives, let's watch this Descendants video together. Don't forget to hit my subscribe button and spread the word of kindness about this YouTube channel.
This is crazy. I've never seen something that I did live like 5 minutes ago already. Maybe trying to say anything stupid. It's like I literally go on autopilot, like I don't remember anything I said. I was like robot mode. There's always time for a photo shoot, right? While I was on my way to my Cosmo interview, I ran into some cuties and we took pictures. It was seriously so sweet. I just love meeting you guys. About to do my fun little interview and I'm so excited. The interview is school related, so I'm a bit nervous on how I'm gonna do, but I'm just gonna kind of like wing it and hope for the best. So we'll see if that 7th grade peak can hopefully help me out here. Hey guys, I'm Kylie Cantrell and today I'm in school in Cosmo. I'll be tested in all different subjects. What was the original purpose of the Zodiac? Guys, maybe I don't have this in the bag. Yeah, that was rough, but thank you guys so much. That was honestly the most stressed I've been in a long time.
When they hit you with the math, I was like, oh my gosh.
I'm just like, there's not a single academic bone in my body. I can't even act my way through it. I was trying. Now we're headed back to the hotel to get ready for the main event, the Disney Upfronts.
I've always thought Kylie Control was incredible. There is no other word that I can use to describe her. I always thought that Ruby Rose Turner was so full of life. I was always inspired by them. I know I'm just a guy who fell down to the stage one night producing Phantom of the Opera and never was the same again. I know I broke my arm one night running home to catch the latest episode of Living Maddie. Haven't we all? Went to the doctor. He said, go home, watch Disney Channel, and I've been watching it ever since. I am really looking forward to this summer, guys, because we're going to have a lot of fun talking about Descendants and Zombies. So if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, you might want to do that. Because rest assured, this YouTube channel is unlike any other YouTube channel themed around Descendants or Zombies that you will find on the YouTube platform. I was looking at some of the social media followers statistics for Disney stars such as Ashley Tisdale, Brenda Song, and Kylie Contrell. And here's what I found. Just 450,000 people are following Kylie Contrell on Facebook to Ashley Tisdale's 18.5 million. Can we please follow Kylie Contrell a bit more? Brenda Song has 5 million. Who cares about Brenda? But what we have to do is follow Kylie Contrell more, and we have to get Ruby Rose Turner more followers. We got to up Rube's social media account. She's only got 1.2 million. So because Rube's only got 1.2 million, we got to help Rube out. We got to help Kylie out. So if you got a minute, go to their Facebook page, because no one's going to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm just crazy. And if you do subscribe to this YouTube channel, well then thank you very much for that. From my heart to yours, from one heart to another, I can't thank you enough for that. But we got to do something about Rube's social media account and blow it up. So if you haven't subscribed to Ruby Rose Turner, please do it. If you haven't subscribed to Kylie Control's Facebook page, please do it. Because I love these Descendants stars to death, and I want to secure the future for them. I know they're trying to secure the future of Descendants and Zombies by introducing new cast members all the time between the ages of 14 through 18, but, you know, you can never have enough help. You know, we're all put here on this life and on this earth, on this planet, to help each other. And if we can't do that, our purpose really hasn't been fulfilled. If we can't spread kindness, because I can guarantee you there's someone out there tonight, as the sun sets on all of our lives, wanting a bit of kindness in their life that they may not have received just yet. So pick up the phone, call them, send them a DM, let them know that you're thinking about them and that you love them, because I believe firmly the words I love you are never said enough, and the more that we can say it and the more that we can make people feel loved and appreciated, the better this world is going to be and be perceived. I know there are a lot of people who don't think the same way, but you don't have to be like that. And if you are aspiring to be the next Disney star or on the football team or the cheerleading squad, more power to you. I love you for it. And I love you for being here. Thank you so much for driving your side-by-sides through that rabbit hole, finding this YouTube channel, hitting the subscribe button every single night, hitting the like button. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, do all that. And we'll come back tomorrow night and we'll talk about it all over again. I will be here. This game chair will be here. These Disney stuffies will be here. And hopefully you will be here. If you're new here, a first-time watcher who has yet to subscribe, please hit that subscribe button high. It's nice to meet you. And if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for holding on to what you believe in. You are wonderful. And what do you say we go spread some kindness right now? Bye, YouTube. We will do it again in a couple of nights.